the smallest things can be scary, especially if you have a phobia of those things. I mean, at the time you don't find it silly, but later on when you look back sometimes, it can be a little silly. I mean, everybody handles things differently. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and today in this video I wanted to share with you guys a story that I kind of find a little silly today. But at the time it wasn't very silly because my friends and I were scared to use the restroom over a spider in the restroom. So this is a story just to let you guys know. Sometimes people just have their phobias, and even if it's a really tiny thing that can even hurt you, just people have phobias and they get scared to use the restroom or be in somewhere just because there's either a spider or spider. I mean, even if it's a really small, teeny tiny spider or a big spider, it can be quite scary to some people, and some people just can't handle their phobias of things that really scare them, and it just happens. So I'm going to get started, and this is a story about how my friends and I were too scared to use the recess yard restroom over a spider in the restroom. And so we were going to use the hallway restrooms, which we weren't allowed to use during the recess, but because we weren't allowed in the hallways during recess, but then we had to get a yard duty or somebody, or the custodian or somebody, to get a spider out of the restroom for us because we were all too scared to use the restroom over a spider. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys may get some laughs out of this video. I mean, looking back today, I laugh at it, but at that time when I was scared of spiders, I didn't laugh at it. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys like the video. So this all started about 20 years ago. I was in the 4th grade. I was at recess. I can't remember. I think this was lunch recess, or was it early morning recess? I don't remember. Please excuse me. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, now I remember. It's lunch recess. Anyway, after remembering that, I was playing with my friends. We were playing a game of tag. I think we were either playing colored tag or we were playing maybe, what else were we playing? Maybe line tag. I don't remember, but I know we were playing tag, and we were kind of going slow for one of my friends because she had messed up her ankle and stuff, and she was wearing not very good shoes for running in. And so we were going slow for her because she had messed up her ankle and stuff, and we were trying to be easy on her, and we were just hanging out, having a good time and having fun. And then all of a sudden we decided to take a break because we started to get tired because of the running around we were doing. And so we all decided to take a break, and suddenly we realized we have to use the restroom. So we go to the restrooms that were right next to the play structure, because we had restrooms that were next to the play structure at our school. And we decide to go into the restroom. So my friend goes first because the restroom was so small, it only had 2 stalls in it. And she goes into the restroom, and I think someone else was already in the other stall, so we couldn't go in. And so we wait for her, and then she comes out kind of like freaked out and a little scared. And we're like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "There's a big black spider in the restroom." I was like, "What?" So my other friends and I, we all peek our heads in the restroom, and we're trying to see what she's talking about, and we don't see a spider. We're like, "Where do you see a spider?" And we can't even see the spider as we're looking around and everything. And she goes, "Right there." And she points to this little tiny dot, and it is a big black spider. And we're like, "Oh my gosh." And we're both so scared, so we close the door quickly. And so we really have to use the restroom, but we don't want to go into the restroom because of the spider that's in the restroom. So we decide to go to the hallway restroom. So we go to the other side of the recess yard where in the hallway there's a restroom that's close to the recess yard. So we decide to go in there, but as we go to open the door, it's locked, and those restrooms were barely ever open. I don't know why we had restrooms that were near the recess yard at school that were locked, and they were barely open half the time. They're like, now what do? We all have to go to the bathroom, but we don't want to use the restroom that has the spider in it. So we decide to go in the hallway restroom. So we walk down the hallway in school, and then the yard duty suddenly catches us going in the hallway, and we're like, why? And the yard duty is like, what are you girls doing in the hallway? You're not supposed to be in here during recess hours, blah 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 blah. And we're like, we have to use the restroom, and the recess yard duty tells us that there are restrooms in the recess yard and blah 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 blah. And we both are all of us girls are kind of embarrassed to tell the recess yard duty this, and they're like, why? And she was like, why are you girls not using the restroom in the recess yard, or the one near the recess yard? And so finally we decide to tell her, because we're kind of embarrassed to tell her that, even though we're kind of embarrassed to tell her this, we're like, there's a spider in the restroom and we don't want to go in there because there's a spider in the restroom. And we tried to use the recess yard restrooms, the restrooms that were close to the recess yard in the hallway, but those weren't open, blah 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 blah. And so the yard duty, it was a female yard duty. The female yard duty leads us out of the hallway and to the recess yard. So she goes in the restroom, grabs like a paper towel, and then picks up the spider and, excuse my tablet, sorry, and throws the spider in the trash. And she's like, there, now you girls can use the restroom, blah 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 blah. There's no more spiders, blah 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 blah. And we apologize to the recess yard duty for telling her about the spider and making her get the spider out of the restroom for us. And the yard duty was like super nice about it, and she's like, it's okay, blah 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 blah. You girls it wasn't going to hurt you, blah 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 blah. It was just in the restroom and blah 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 blah, and it wasn't going to hurt you. So you girls can use the restroom. There are no more spiders in the restroom. So my other friend waits out, my other two friends wait outside while my friend and I go to use the restroom. And, because like I said, the restroom that we were going into only had 2 stalls. And so once we're done with the restroom, my other 2 friends go in and use the restroom. And then after that, we finally feel better because we were able to use the restroom and we got the spider out. And so we talk about how silly we all were about being freaked out over the spider that was in the restroom, and how we found it silly how we were afraid to use the restroom because of the spider in the restroom. And then we just decided to forget about it and continue to play our game of tag or whatever game we were playing. So the moral of the story is that some people just have phobias. Like, some people can be afraid of teeny tiny bugs, and they're afraid to touch a teeny tiny bug that's either in their hotel room, bedroom, or in their bathroom or whatever. But it just happens. Sometimes we are too afraid to touch things that are very small, whether it's a bug or a spider, and we don't want to pick it up because we have a phobia of it, and then we have to get someone else to get it out of the bedroom, bathroom, or wherever we're at for us, because it's just like, it just happens. I mean, sometimes you outgrow the phobia, sometimes you may not outgrow the phobia, but we all have moments where we have to ask somebody to get stuff away from us because we're too afraid to touch it. It happens. So that was the silly story about how my friends and I were too afraid to use the restroom because of a spider in the restroom. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!